Hey, guys. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for coming. My name's Kael. If you don't know me yet, I've been here for about, been here for, I think it's about 2 months, maybe 3 now. It went by real quick. But Steve's not here, of course, and so I'm taking the reins today. And, unfortunately, I'm not like Steve. I'm not a man of many words. Steve, I love you. But, we could be here. We might be able to leave and watch the Braves game, or we might be here making dinner plans together. I don't know yet. However the Spirit moves, man, that's the way we're going to go. But before we start, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this day. And Jesus, right now, I just lift you up. Such an amazing time of worship where we can just brag on you. And I just pray, Jesus, for this time to be beneficial, for anything that is not of you that comes out of my mouth just to hit the floor. But just reign in this place, Jesus. We love you so much. Thank you for all your blessings. Amen. Awesome. So I'm going to start off by saying I'm the kind of person that loves stories. Stories is like my thing. Like I love to tell stories, hear stories. I ask Harold stories all the time about when he was in the Marine Corps. Older people. It's amazing. I love it. So with that being said, I'm going to try and tell y'all a story about a time I almost died. Sorry, Mom. And relate that with something in the Bible, of course. And I believe very, very much in the power of testimonies and just bragging about what Jesus has done through my life. And hopefully that'll help, someone here in a situation that me and God have already been through. So hopefully this is beneficial to you as well. Today I'm going to try to relate Jeremiah 17:5-8 in my story together. So this story, I never in my wildest dreams thought God would use this because it's kind of one of those stories you're like, did that really just happen? And everything just keeps going on afterwards. You're like, I almost died, but everyone's laughing, so I guess we'll just keep going. And it starts on the Ocoee River. Has anybody ever heard, been down, seen? Some parts are pretty gnarly. I didn't know that. So I was like, we'll go. That sounds cool. So a brief history of whitewater rafting. There's 6 different classifications, right, of like the rapids and all that stuff. Class 1, moving water with few ripples and small waves and few to no obstructions. So pretty easy, just kind of coasting. Class 2, easy rapids with smaller waves, clear channels that are obvious for scouting. I don't know how you scout water, but somebody out there knows how. Class 3, now you're getting a little crazy. High rapids, irregular waves, narrow passages, and often requires precise maneuvering. It's not me. Precise maneuvering in a boat is not what I was built for, especially when someone else is controlling it. Class 4, is that class 4? That's weird. Anyway, it gets worse and worse. And eventually class 6 is extreme difficulty, long, violent rapids with high, continuous routes, which should be scouted from shore. So that's like I have no business. None of us in here have any business being in a class 6 rapid. So with that being said, on the Ocoee, you get on the bus, you go up, and you do your thing. Now there's a rapid on Lake Ocoee or River Ocoee or Ocoee, the 3rd rapid, right? It's called Broken Nose. Now from the name of that, you should think I probably shouldn't sign up for this, but I did. Because I had a bunch of youth people like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's cool. Like, oh, okay, yeah. So, now Broken Nose is a Class 3 plus rapid. I shouldn't be on a Class 3 plus rapid. You can scout it, so it's a scouting thing. You can do it for this rapid. But Broken Nose consists of 3 drops with a powerful hole at the bottom. There's a great eddy at the right end immediately after your first drop. I'm pretty sure a great eddy is like a whirlpool. So keep that in mind when I go on with this story. So a little history on my rafting. I've been twice before this time, so I was an expert. And I had 2 buddies who were like the kayak. I'm from like North Georgia where like people are crazy. Like one of my buddies from high school, Sloan, he would like send me pictures and stuff of him like on the side of a mountain. He's like, here we go. And then like jump off the mountain on his I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, why would you ever do that? It's not me. So back to the story. We're driving, upstream to get to where we need to be. And we're on the bus, and I'm in the back with the people from my old church, River Point. And we're kind of looking around at, the guys sitting in the front. They're all talking, just long hair, tattooed. Not the kind of person you would ever ask for directions kind of thing. But I was like, that guy right there is who I want. He, like the blonde, like looks like he hasn't showered, just the okoi has all been in his hair, and you're just like, yeah. Kind of like talks like this, man. And he's just doing a lot of this. So I was like, that's my guy. That's who I want to be with. So, lo and behold, we get there, and he's like, all right, I want you. And he points at me, and I was like, yes. He also points at our youth pastor at the other church at the time, who's about 6'6", big. He's a big dude. And the guide says, well, I want you, me, and Thomas to be in the front. That's like a lot of weight. Like, so we were going down the river like this, it seemed like. I was like, if you're the guide, I trust you. That's cool, man. So the first rapid, we get in, and Thomas and I are like, I don't know about this, man. We might go down a couple times. And, you stand on the side, and you put your feet in and something like that. And so we start to go down, the first rapid. We see it. We're like, all right, here we go. We got this. Everyone's pumped. We're paddling. Next thing you know, we hit a rock. I'm like, oh, here we go. Wow, okay. Hit another rock. We hit another one, and then I immediately fall out and hit a rock. And the boat goes like this, and guess who's on this side of me? Thomas. So I look up, and Thomas is coming to me and flattens me on the rock. So I was like, oh. So he gets off, and my buddy Matt, I made sure Matt was with us, who's like the professional, I told y'all. So Matt grabs me, pulls me up. We pull Thomas up. We're like, holy cow, like that was quick, first rapid. So we're going through. We get through the rapids and go through another one that's, pretty bumpy, but then we get to Broken Nose. And the guy says, this is Broken Nose. This is our first Class 3 plus rapid. So, okay, cool. So you can see it probably from here to the end of the doors right there. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm in the water. I have no idea what happened, but I was in the water. And you have my oar, and I tried sticking it up for someone to grab it, but they kind of like, no, and gone. So here I am at the start. I'm sorry, this is disgusting, but I keep hearing my gum do that. And if you know me, gum, like smacking, is like my number one pet peeve. So I'm in the water, and I think, okay, don't freak out. What do they tell you to do? Okay, feet up. So I put my feet up, I put my head up. Well, Broken Nose gets me, and we're gone. I go under, I hit a rock on my hip. And next thing I know, this life jacket that I put so much trust into, I'm sitting there pulling up, and I can't breathe. I can't get above the water for the life of me. So as I breathe in, I'm just breathing in water, and more water, and more water, and I'm coughing. And I start to panic. I'm like, is this it? Like, am I going to die like this? And to the point where that was just like, oh, it's a joke. And this is probably like a minute that happens, but you're thinking about all your life. And so I get to the point where I hit a rock, and it flips me over sideways. And I go backwards, and now I'm going backwards down the river, and I can't get above. Now, there are 5 stages of drowning. Hear me out here. Hear me out. And I went through every single one of them. First is surprise. In this stage, the victim recognizes danger and becomes afraid. The victim assumes a near vertical position in the water with little or no leg movement. So when I first started to go, it was surprise. I put so much trust in this person that looked the part, that was like, yeah, man, I got this. Yo, yeah. I was like, that's the guy I want to help me and push me through this. Next thing I know, that guy I relied into ended up being the worst rafting I'd ever been with. And I'm swimming down this rapid, drowning. I'm praying in my mind, God, please, I can't die this way. Like, this can't be it. So, and then the next stage of drowning is involuntary breath holding. The victim is now dropped below the static water line in the body. An attempt to protect itself initiates involuntary breath holding. And I tried to hold my breath. I kept breathing in water, and I could feel like water inside. Like, it was the strangest, worst, scariest feeling in my life. And as I started to go, I kind of could notice, I was like, things are starting to get a little black. Like, God, like, here we go. Like, this is it, man. So the next stage is unconsciousness. Because the victim has been without oxygen, the body shuts itself down. As unconsciousness result, the result was unconsciousness. In this stage, the victim will be motionless. Because breathing is stopped, he or she is in respiratory arrest. I wasn't in respiratory arrest. I didn't die. But I was scared. I was scared. I put so much faith in this one guy who I thought would lead me to the right place, who I thought would get me there, who I thought would take me down this nice, easy path like everyone else is going on. But no, he led me right down this rapid, right in the middle. Not on a boat, not nice and safe and easy, but through the water, through a rapid, hitting rocks, cutting my legs, inhaling water, drowning, about to die is where I was. And then, the list goes on for, until clinical death. The final stage in the drowning process is death. Clinical death occurs when both hearing and circulation stop. So here I am, going down this river. I'm at the end, or what I think's the end, and I get caught and start spinning. Eventually, it shoots me under, and I'm like, this is it. Like, I can't get up. God, hope my mom knows I love her. Like, here we go. So all of a sudden, I feel whoosh, whoo, and I get pulled out of the water. Like, look at me. I get pulled in one motion out of the water and slammed onto this boat, thinking like, oh, it's Thomas. It is this like 70-year-old woman this tall. And I was like, whoa. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm looking, I'm like, complete shock. I'm like shaking. She's like, you're okay. I just saw your head come up a couple times. And we went in and we pulled you up. Like, it was her and some guy. And I was like, okay. They snatched me up and check on me. And some of the paramedics were like, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. And I get back on the boat with my friends. I never saw that boat again that helped me up. I have no idea who it was. It's just some guy, some little old lady that snatched me up out of the water. I have no idea. The whole point of that story, and me telling you, is that I put my faith in someone else's hands. I trusted in my life with this dude who probably was out of his mind, who really found out he worked there for like 3 days. Afterwards, yeah, man, I've been here for like 3 days now. Oh, cool. Why? So I feel like in today's church, in today's society, we put our faith in so many things of this world, and then we wonder afterwards why we're let down. This guy or girl, I like them. I'm gonna keep putting my effort and time in them. God, you can wait. Let me get this done, and then I'll be back to you. And the next thing you know, you're down the road, and you're working, and then you're like, I'll be back. The next thing you know, you're brokenhearted. You've been fired from your job that you put so many years into that God didn't even to begin with, like your first thought when you think of your job. And all of a sudden, that's gone. And that seems so far away. Because for all these years, you've put your faith, you've put your trust in somebody else. So I'm going to read Jeremiah, is it 17, 5 through 8? I think we have it up here because this isn't NIV. Do you have it up there? Yeah. So this is what the Lord says. Cursed is the one who trusts in man. Cursed. We read a lot of stories in the Bible about being cursed, right? Cursed. You are cursed. Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who depends on flesh for his strength, and whose heart turns away from the Lord. He will be like a bush in the wastelands. He will not see prosperity when it comes. I put my trust in this guy. I was going through a wasteland. I couldn't breathe. I was near death. I wasn't prospering. I couldn't see prosperity when it came. Because I didn't know that lady was going to rip me out of the water. Thank God. Like, clearly God has a plan for my life. Because I was like, okay, dude, we'll keep going. In a salt land, he will dwell in the parched places of the desert, in salt land where no one lives. So that person's thirsty in the desert. They're just dehydration. They're not being filled up. They're not being filled up Are you being filled up? Which place are you in? Are you that person that's, you're kind of over here, you're like, God, I got to do good for myself. I have to do good. I have to get this promotion. I have to get this girl to like me. I have to make this grade or get accepted into this college, right? I know the pressure, dude. Like, I'm still there. Which place are you in? Can you be honest with yourself? That's one thing that we've been talking about. Can you be honest with yourself? Because in your quiet time, if you're like, God, yeah, man, we're good, man. Yeah, I pray. Yeah, God. And God's just like, what? Are you looking at the same story I am? You really think that me and you are on a good page? And this is something I've had to look in my life and be like, Kael, are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with God? Because God's like, dude, I know what you're doing. Like, quit lying to me. But life change can't happen. Things can't happen. We can't grow spiritually. We can't grow in our Creator if we're lying to ourselves and to Him. So which are you? You this guy over here, you this guy that's like, God, it's me and you all the way. So it goes on. But blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him. He will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought, and it never fails to bear fruit. Do you see the difference here? 5 through 6 is kind of this guy, right? Just in the desert, just crumbling. Just God, I can't feel you, God. Where are you? If that's you, it's okay. Is that you, or are you this person? He will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. You're planted in the water. You're planted in the water, the Word. You're planted in Jesus. Your roots are going to the stream. You're making your byproducts. It does not fear when the heat comes. So when those hard times come, when you're like, oh, I have to get this promotion. I'm going to work. I'm going to do this. I. It does not fear when the heat comes. Its leaves are always green. Are you a worrier? Is that you today? Are you someone that's like, you just got this, just your shoulders are like, it's just rock hard. Someone rode your shoulders and that person's like, oh, dude, like you're all, Is that you? Because if you're trusting in Him, if you're putting your trust, your hope, everything you have in Him, it does not fear when the heat comes. Its leaves are always green. The byproduct, you yourself, you're always healthy. A healthy tree, coarse, green leaves, you're always healthy. It has no worries in a year of drought. It never fails to bear fruit. So let me put this thought in your mind. I had this thought last night when I was going over this. So we're men and women, right? Like all of us are humans, correct? I think we could all agree that putting so much faith in man is the same thing with ourselves, like I've been saying. And that's kind of a thought I didn't have when I read this. I thought, yeah, putting my faith so much in like you guys, putting my faith so much in a specific person to build me up. But then I was thinking more, and I was like, well, that can pertain to me too, right? Like I put so much faith in myself, which is fine. You have to have that. But I rely so much on, okay, Kael's got this. God, I got this, man. Take a step back for a minute. And then everything comes crashing down, and I'm like, God, where you at? What? I hear laughter because everyone's like, yeah, shoot, man. And that's what I thought last night when I was just laying in bed. My brother was playing my PlayStation, and I was like, it's both ways. When in all actuality, there's only one person that deserves our full faith and our full trust. It's a verse that everybody knows, and when I heard it, I was like, when I was preparing for this, I can't be a cliche. Like, I can't. Like, I got to just, bring up stuff that people are like, oh, I've never thought of that before. And I was like, as I was doing this, I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. Hopefully I can shed some light, but there's no way. I'm not that. Anyway. The best verse to describe this and everything to sum up is this. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Where are you? Which spectrum are you on? Where is your faith? These are all questions you have to ask yourself in order, if you're tired of the same person. In high school, I tell these guys all the time. I love you guys, by the way, man. It's good to see y'all. I'm glad y'all are here. Thanks for supporting. Which side are you on? I had to realize at a young age that the more I said, God, me and you were good, but we weren't, the worse it got. The more I relied on myself, the more I relied on man. Because if I couldn't even be truthful with God in a quiet time of such sincerity and a time of like such surrender, I couldn't even be honest with him then. And how in the world are we going to go through our lives and be prosperous and live on this side where the trees are green, our stems are running to the stream? How in the world are we going to be there if we can't even be honest with him in our quiet times? And by honesty, I mean just, God, you know what? I'm kind of mad at you right now. I am. I love you. That's how I look at it. If I'm mad at my dad, I'm honest, Dad, I love you. I want to work something out. I'm upset with you right now. That's my heavenly Father. That's our heavenly Father. God, why? Why did I just lose my job? You say you're going to take care of me. Why? Why did this person just die? You said you were going to take care of me. I put my faith in you. Now what? That's the honesty. Think of like if you're married, you and your wife. What are the times that it was like, you can think back like, man, we really grew from that. It wasn't like, yeah, it was the happy-go-lucky times, but it was the times you're like, you suck. Like, I hate you. Those are the times in the long run you're like, you look back and you're like, yeah, like we stuck that through. And the cool thing is about God, it's like we can sit here and I don't encourage you to like bash him. Don't do that. But you can be like, God, I'm not happy. Where's my happiness? Where's this joy you talk of? I put my faith in you. I feel like I'm over here, but I'm over here. That's when life change happens. That's when we start to grow. That's when this starts to make a little bit more sense. That's when this becomes less of a, yes, I'll open this up today. Take a picture of this on Instagram. Okay. God said it's cool. Post. That's when it becomes more than that. And it becomes more of like, I can feel a difference in myself. Like, I've known people that, you know, like are kind of over here with God, and then like I see them like kind of slowly but surely, and it's like, holy cow, like this person's like, they've got it. And then they're back this way. And it's so crazy how you can see that difference. And like that's kind of like a challenge for you guys. If you have someone in your life that you kind of know that they need building, they need something, watch. That's an important aspect of our relationship with Christ is watching. Not so much of this. God, I need you to just shh. So I'm going to share another story real quick of a time that I put my faith in him. Because like I said earlier, I strongly believe that the power of our testimony can overcome anything that Satan or the enemy has. Because what God's done through my life, I want to show you what he's done through me, so that when a time comes, you're not like, well, okay, God, are you sure you can do this? Because I don't know. Because that's how I was about this situation. I was about to go to Africa, in my old church. And I just kept like delaying and like, I don't really know if I want to go. Maybe I'll go. So I was like, you know what? I had a dream that me and my best friend's dad, who was going on the trip, were in Africa. And I was praying. I was like, God, if you want to go, like, give me a dream. Like, that'd be cool. That night, I had a dream I was in Africa, and I was like, called up Thomas that morning. I was like, hey, I'm ready to go. So it came down to, this is my senior year. And it was like, graduation was this day. I went on senior trip with my friends this day. I got back this day and then went to Africa. So I had no time, and how much did I have left? Like $1,500 left, I think. Pretty sure that's what it was. And I was like, I don't have that money. God, you say and you say and you say, if I trust in you, if I put my faith in you, that you'll provide, that you're a provider. So I got on my hands and knees, and I was like, God, please show me how awesome you are. I'm going to trust in you. If this is where you want me to go, if this is what you want me to do, show me. This is a true story, I promise. I'm not making this up. Can't make this up. So, put my faith in him, and I was like, okay, cool. So I went to sleep, woke up for graduation the next morning, and I woke up to a phone call from, pretty sure it was Dave and Jana. I think it was, people from our old church. Hey, we heard you got some money left. We're going to give you, this check, which covered a quarter of the $1,500 I had left, a big check. And I was like, okay, God, I see you. Let's see what we got going still. So, $500 check. So then I go throughout my day, and I stopped by my church for some reason, and someone's like, hey, somebody left this check for you. They didn't want me to tell who. I still to this day don't know who it is, but it's a check for $500. That's okay. It's $1,000. It's like 12 o'clock. The night before, I was like, God, show me. Prove it. He proved it. Because later that day, somebody else, I forgot who it was. I think it was maybe Hal Steinspring. I'm sure it was. If you ever get the pleasure to meet that guy, your life will be better. I hope he hears this on there. And then not even 24 hours, I had my $1,500. And the list goes on and on and on about times, because for me, I'm really okay, God, I know that you can do good, but I just can't, bring myself to, tithe. I know you say to do that, but I really need this chunk of change. I was in school, I'm still in school, and I got, my refunds back. And, I had to pay, stuff off. And I was like, God, I need this. And so I was like, I'm going to tithe more than I'm supposed to with this check I got from the school. And I was on my computer, had it typed in, because we did online tithing. And I sat there and I prayed. I was like, God, here I am again. I'm going to trust in you. See what you got. That's not really what I said, but click submit. Next day, went to my mom's house, and Jackson comes down the hill. He's like, hey, you got a check from your school. So what? And it was 2 times as much as the money as I had gotten the day before. I don't know why. I still got the money for next semester. They just gave me more money. I was like, oh, cool. I'm not saying go home and be like, God, look, where's the checks, man? Bring them in. Need a new TV, need this. But I was in school. I was going to school to be a surgical tech. If you don't know that, that's what I was doing. It didn't work out. It's just not what God had. I was broke. And that was my source of, living. So, to wrap that up, where are you? That's what I want to leave. Just have this question in your mind. And so for your quiet time, have a quiet time, please. It's the difference. In the Bible, it shows how Jesus had his quiet time. He prayed in the morning. And that guy at this retreat we just went to, he said, what was the first thing Jesus did when he woke up? Did he go and heal the blind man? Did he go and cure someone of leprosy? Did he go bring someone from the dead? No, he prayed. So to me, it's there's something really important about that. And trust me, you can ask my Nana, I love to sleep. Sleeping is good. And so there are times when I have to push myself. I get here and just be like, okay, God, this is what you did. This is what I'm going to do. There's a difference. There really is. Throughout your whole day. So where are you? Which aspect? And the band can go and come up, and I'm going to try to transition from wearing this to go put that back on. So it might be a little awkward pause for a second. But where are you? Can you be honest with yourself? God knows where you are. He's waiting on you to realize where you are. Because once you realize that, that's when the good stuff starts to happen. Once you can say, I'm not where I need to be. I go to church every Sunday. I pray. I ask you when I need stuff. But is that really what our relationship with God looks like? Is that the way he intended it to look like? I just challenge you to go home and say, God, where do I need to be? Where am I at with you? So, I'm going to pray, but I'm going to pray on that microphone. So just give me one awkward second. Let's pray with me. Jesus, we just lift you up. And we thank you for hopefully realizations this morning. Jesus said that we would want to change because we're just tired of the same old whoever we are. Jesus, that it would turn into a want with you. It wouldn't turn into a chore. Because that's not why you came here. That's not why you sent your only son to die on the cross. But you came, you conquered, so that we could have this special, special relationship with you. And I pray that we would realize that it's a special relationship. It's not something we even deserve.